Hey guys, this is Live, Laugh, and Lori. My name is Lori, and today we're doing Life Coaching with Lori, Session 3, on identifying your goals. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, for a quick recap, the first thing you had to do was make your list of all of the things that you want. I hope you made a list of at least 30, but you know what? If you could get up to 50, that would be even better. So that was your day one. Day two was kind of a rough one. You had to do a lot of sorting and really looking at what you have now versus what you want in the future. Today, we're going to be building on top of that. And remember, each session builds on the one before. So you can't do the one this week if you haven't done the 2 previous weeks. Now, as I said, today we're going to be focusing on identifying your goals. But we also have to come up with short-term goals and long-term goals. So I want you to look at the list that you came up with last week, and I want you to think of 1, 3, 5, and 10. That means that you're going to sort them into things that you think that you can get done in either 1 year, 3 years, 5 years, or a lot longer than 5 years. So we just kind of picked 10. After you've done that, we're going to set everything aside that is going to take more than 1 year. Now, we're not going to throw those away because everything that we're working at right now, we need to be working towards the things that you came up with. But there's no reason that you have to wait to enjoy things until you actually reach those goals. And then we also have to get to the root of your goals, which is kind of what we're doing today. Now, I want you to look at the items that are in your 1 year list, and I want you to pick out from 1 to 4. You never want to focus on more than that, and you want the ones that you really are motivated to and you really want to focus on now. And then we're going to set our goals. Now, did you know that people who explicitly make resolutions are 10 times more to reach their goals than people who do not make explicit resolutions? So what is an explicit resolution? That means it's not just a generic thing. You have specific things in mind that you are trying to attain. But now we're going to get to a little bit of an uncomfortable area. I want you to start thinking about why you want the things that you want. Whose desire is it really? Is it yours or is it someone else's goal for you? So, why do you want it? Now, let's say that my dad was a doctor and he wanted me to go to medical school because everybody in our family went to medical school and it wasn't even something that you could consider. Well, if I was going into medical school, but in my heart of hearts, I really wanted to be an artist, then that means the goals that I would be setting would be to meet the goals and the expectations of somebody else, not me. And that's not what you want to do. That's not going to make you happy in the long run. You know, my daddy always taught me, find a job that you love and you'll never work another day in your life. And I truly believe this. So let's really put our thinking caps on and dive deep to figure out why you want the things that you do. Are there things that you truly desire, or are these things that you're trying to do to look good to other people, to achieve their goal, to reach their expectations? I want you to set goals for you, what you really, really want out of life. That's why this part is so important. So now we're to the portion of asking yourself why. And typically the answer is going to be because of how it makes you feel. Most of the decisions that we make in our life, most of the changes that we want to make in our life is because there is a feeling that we want. Maybe it's happiness, maybe it's joy, maybe it's security, maybe it's relief. But there's some kind of a feeling that you're looking for. So now I want you to look at each of the items that you've chosen. What is it that's the feeling that you're looking for each one of them? Because if you really think about it, everything we want in life, absolutely everything that we want, is based on how we want to feel. of how they're going to feel when they get it, because they're going to feel better by having it. And if accomplishing this goal is not something that you really want, how are you going to have the motivation that keeps you pushing through those difficult points to get to your goal? It's got to be your goal, and it's got to be heartfelt. Are you wanting to feel fulfillment, relief, satisfaction, pride, joy, accomplishment, or maybe you're wanting to feel freedom? How do you want to feel? And maybe this will help you clarify that the goal you thought you were shooting for is not really what you want. And perhaps there's more than one way for you to get that feeling that you're wanting. Now, the next section that we're going to go into is goal planning, but that's how come you have to make sure that the goals that you're shooting for really are what you want, because our goal planning is going to be creating steps so that we can achieve your goals. But we have to figure out why you want it, and then we have to make sure that you are sure that you can achieve it. And so one of the keys to reaching your goals is you have to have a big enough reason for wanting your goal. Now, let me use an example here. Okay, so let's say that I have been taking Spanish on my own for the last 4 years, and you know what? I have made absolutely no progress because there's really nothing motivating me. But then I go on a vacation and I meet this fabulous man who only speaks Spanish. And he is my heartthrob. Now, not really, because I'm married, but let's just pretend he is my absolute heartthrob, and I want to marry this man. Well, now I have a huge motivation to learn how to speak Spanish. Make sense? So we're not looking for surface answers. We're looking for deep answers. So let's use that as an example. So let's take our example and look a little deeper. So if before I didn't have a motivation, what was my motivation for learning Spanish? Well, basically because I wanted to learn another language, but it changed. Now, why do I want to learn Spanish? Well, it's because I want to talk to this man. Well, why do I want to talk to this man? Well, because I think he's cute. Well, why do you think he's cute? Well, if you look at him, and then maybe I would go through the things about his looks. But is that enough? Well, if I think about it a little bit more, maybe there are some characteristics about it. Maybe it's how he looks at me. Maybe it's the kind of way he acts with me. Maybe we've got an interpreter who is telling me what he has to say. So why do I want to get to know him better? Well, maybe I'm at that point in my life that I am looking for a significant other. Maybe I'm wanting to get married. Maybe I'm just wanting a quick roll in the hay. I don't know. But you have to look to the why. So that's what you have to start doing with each one of the items that you have chosen. You have to ask yourself why until you can't ask yourself why anymore. I am going to use one of the things that I found out about myself when I was doing this. If you remember the list that we looked at, some of the things about me is I want to know that I'm being appreciated. I want to know that I am doing good in the world. So why do I need to know that? Well, there's a lot of reasons. One reason is because I've never felt good enough. Why have I never felt good enough? Well, part of it is I'm the youngest in the family, and with everybody being older, I was criticized a lot. And my oldest sister was the one that was perfect and did all of the wonderful things, and I just never felt good enough. And that came into my adult life. And then I married my high school sweetheart. And then after many years of marriage, he had an affair. And again, I didn't feel good enough. And so this is something that I have kind of fought my whole life, is feeling good enough. And I've never really felt appreciated. And so when I really started asking myself why do I want to be on stage? Why do I want to hear applause? Because I want to know that people appreciate me. I want to know that I am doing a good job, because I never got a lot of input growing up. That was a huge eye-opener to me, because I didn't know that I so desperately needed outside confirmation of the good works that I do or of anything that I do. And if I take this all the way back to, I'm going to say upper grade school, that so influenced everything that I have done in my life. Now that I'm old enough to understand, I can take that into consideration because my biggest why is because I never feel good enough. And I want to feel good about myself. And although I can make myself feel that way, I just from my own history have that hang up. And so I like positive accolades. Didn't know that's what motivated me. Now I do. So you may find some very interesting things about yourself, but you're going to continue to ask yourself why. If you can't get to the root, please send me a message so that I can start having the dialogue with you. This is what makes group coaching and working online very, very difficult, is because I can't be the one asking you the whys. So you're going to have to do it for yourself. But write your answer down, then ask yourself why. Come up with another answer, ask yourself why. Drill down as far as you can. And then you're going to come up with the root to what you want for each one of your goals and why you want them. So that's as far as we're going to go for today. I know this sounds very, very easy, but it's not. I will go ahead and record the next session just so those of you that are able to do this pretty quick can go ahead into building your smarter goals. But if you can't go ahead and move on, there's no problem with that at all. Take your time and don't move to the next day until you're ready. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you've enjoyed this. If you've liked it, give me a thumbs up. If not, give me a thumbs down and let me know what I need to work on to improve. I greatly appreciate you spending your precious time with me today. My guess is you probably have a pretty full calendar, but you know what? I truly appreciate you spending your time with me, and I hope this works to help you know yourself just a little bit better. Thanks again for joining me. Have a wonderful week and be blessed. Bye-bye.